So Apollon All-Star Seminar, it's just finished. What are your impressions of it?
It was good, well run and that, good questions and that. It's like, sometimes it's like, you know, I like seminars and I like talking, so sometimes even though the seminar ends, it's like, oh, I could have kept it going longer. You know, 'cause I just like talking to people, and then, but it's something funny too, because sometimes you can have people in who want to ask questions, but they're like, oh, I don't want to ask that, it could be a stupid question. But to me, it's like, no question's stupid, but, and the thing is too, you might think it's a stupid question, but there could be 8 other people who want to know the same question. So sometimes people get embarrassed to put their hand up, but when the seminar's over, then they come and ask you, sort of thing. So yeah, well, I've always enjoyed doing seminars because I like talking to people and stuff like that. So
was there any question after the seminar that surprised you, like one of those?
No, it wasn't any of them. Like, what are you taking? What are you taking? Nah. I think because
what are you taking though?
At the moment, just 1 ml test every 8 days.
1 ml of test every other day?
Every 8 days.
Every 8 days?
Yeah.
Like, you just annotate?
No, I normally take Cypionate, or if I don't take Cypionate, I take Sus 250.
Oh, okay.
And then again, it says 250, but who knows, it could be only 230 in the thing. You never know the true strength of it, do you? Yeah. So
you consider it as HRT? Like,
yeah, pretty much. I just take it, you know, because I'm 51 now, I just take a little bit for that, so yeah.
I wanted to ask you about this social media thing. I know that today there were some questions in the seminar, and especially your friend Guy, he's like very critical about the social media and all these tripods in the gym and stuff like that.
You shouldn't do it. Yeah, like if you're serious
Do you share his opinion? Like he's being pretty like negative towards younger
I don't think it's negative, because these young kids want to be bodybuilders, or if they want to get to that level. Like if you just want to go to the gym and be an influencer, that's fine. But if you want to be a bodybuilder who's going to compete in that, you don't need your fucking phone in the gym. Or if you want to do it, go in first, do your workout, do whatever you got to do, and then once you've done that, then go back and just film your content. That's okay, but because it's like if you're in that zone where you're doing legs or whatever, you're doing a body part,
you cannot concentrate.
No, for you to stop and move cameras and get this and then look at it, your mindset's gone.
True.
I said you won't see it in any other sport. You won't see boxers doing it in between rounds sparring. You won't see it in tennis. You won't see it in any other sport. That's why I said if you're going to do it, like I said, if you're doing legs, do all your leg presses, do all your squats. Then when you finish, maybe get a protein drink, and now go back, put your tripod up. You've only got to record 1 or 2 sets. You don't have to go super heavy, because you're only showing the form, whatever it is you're showing, how you do it. So do it at the end of your workout, because to me it's like if you're in there to train, but if you're just going to be like an influencer where you're not worried about competing and stuff, sure, then do that. But if you want to be a top level bodybuilder or athlete in anything, having the camera there and stuff is just, like I said, it's just going to mess that zone and your focus up. So
being influencer, like as a title itself, is not triggering you, like
it doesn't bother me. No.
Because some younger guys, some even don't have any interest in professional competing at all. They just
some too. It's like they say the influencers too, but then I look at their page and might only have 150 followers. I'm like, well, what are you doing here? It's
well,
like,
everybody started somewhere.
Yeah, but some don't go any further than that.
Yeah, so that's why
it's good. That's why I said it's always good if you want to do it. Maybe train first, compete. If you get a few titles behind you, you know, if you got it, then you get a little bit of a name for yourself. People are going to listen to you more. But if you're just the guy that goes to the gym and go, well, I train legs and I do leg press and this, people go, well, why? Who are you? Well, there's thousands of people doing that. So it's best to maybe get out there, train, compete, get your name out there, do whatever it is you're doing, and then go to the influencer side if you want to do.
The opposite way. They start giving out the advices that no one's looking for, and then they think about competing.
Exactly, because they'll be like, well, you're an influencer, but what have you done? Have you maybe trained anybody? Have you got yourself in shape? So, you know, like I said, there's a big difference. It's almost like being street smart or, you know, anything like that. Like I know people who can read a textbook on stuff, but, you know, doing the actual practical things is a lot different. Well, in the book it says this way and that way. I said, but then in reality, it's totally different. A textbook type thing. So.
Yeah, and the problem with being like black and white with this subject is that there is so many like younger generation who's like being inspired by these influencers who sometimes like having like 100,000 like likes and millions of followers. I'm sure that you see these guys on social media now, and sometimes they're giving out extremely stupid like advices and stuff.
But well, that's the thing of bodybuilding. I've always
But
said.
at the same, let me finish. But at the same time, they are getting these youngsters inspired.
Yeah.
They make them like
Well,
take
there was
this
a guy
first
in
step.
Australia
So
like
this
that.
isn't
Did you
bad.
ever remember Ziz from Australia?
Yes.
So I didn't really like him because of just the way he carried on and stuff like that. But yet I said, I don't agree with what he does. But the good thing what he does is he does get people into the gym to exercise and get healthy. So on that side it's good. But then too it's almost like some people come up with crazy stuff or do silly things. And to me, really, when you look at bodybuilding or stuff like that, it's pretty basic. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. A bench press is a bench press. Some people might go, well, if you do it this way and lean on the ball and do that, well, you know, anyone can make up bullshit to make it sound technical, but, you know, doing a barbell curl, that's a barbell curl. You know, you don't need the...
But don't you think that your arms are genetically like gifted that much to think that way?
But how do you do barbell curl?
I mean, I could try a couple of angles, but...
Yeah, but how are you going to do an angle on a barbell curl? You hold the bar here?
Well, if you have your upper arm like elevated from the torso...
Yeah, but that's a different exercise altogether. That you can do it with a cable on a machine. Right, but a standing barbell curl...
Standing, yeah.
...is there. You can do like the machine one where your arms are out.
You can lean forward and do that.
Yeah, but I said, but look at all the greats from day one to now.
Yeah.
They've all done the basics. There was none of this fancy shit.
True.
And look at the guys back then, when you look back to Arnold, Sergio Oliva, Bert or Fox.
They did 5 exercises, million reps, sets.
Yeah, but and look at the mass they had back then. They had basic drugs. They weren't into the growth hormones. They had just like maybe DECA test, Dianabol, just the basics. Now everyone's got these big range of drugs, and they're doing all these fancy exercises. Like, I hate fucking hip thrusts. Yeah. It's like, look at the glutes on guys back then. They were great. And they did fucking squats, lunges, leg press. And everyone's doing, and you see a girl, 120 pounds, 5 plates across her lap. And I laughed the other day because I went into the gym. The leg press had barely any 20 kilo plates on it in Australia. All the weights were over on the hip thrust. People are recording personal bests on a hip thrust machine. I'm like,
what are you proud of?
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, just go do squats and lunges and stuff. It's like, I think people are trying to, I don't know whether they're looking for something different or a secret way, or if
they want to sell their services, right?
Yeah,
they want to package it in their own package.
But that's why I said I sometimes I don't really do it, because people say, Lee, can you write me a program and do this and do that? I'm like, I can, but I feel guilty taking their money, because I'm like, that's so fucking basic. Like, there's no secret. If you want to lose weight, we all know what clean foods you can have. Now, like, if someone walks in the gym for the very first time, yes, it's good to show them the exercises in the correct form. But, you know, after a couple of months, if I've shown you that, I shouldn't need to show you every day, because you should know how to do it by now. And if I've given you diets and I've followed your diet for a couple of months, you should know by now, okay, chicken, rice, vegetables, lean meats or egg whites.
And this is how my body reacts to it.
Yeah, whatever it is, yeah. And then it's like stuff like that. So you want to get, that's why I even hate when people go, Lee, you did a dirty bulk. I'm like, what's a dirty bulk? Bulking's bulking. Just fucking eat. Just eat lots of calories, wherever you eat. Even when I bulked up, I'd still eat chicken and steak and rice, but then an hour later I might have McDonald's, and then I might have another cleaner meal, but then in between I might go have a bowl of ice cream and a packet of chips. So I still had the clean meals, but then say I had like 3,000 calories of clean food, but on top of that there could be another 3,000 of shit food in between it. So yeah.
I think you don't mention that a lot, and people
I've always mentioned it, they just don't listen.
People misunderstood it, because everybody thinks that you eat whatever you want, like. And what you just said, it's very important. So you still had your clean,
like,
and then I just
protein. Yeah, because to get a lot of calories in sometimes to eat, you know, 5,000-6,000 calories of clean food, it's just like too much food.
Some people just can't digest it, physically can't.
Yeah, you just need to put a bit more calories in. And then when it came time to diet, all I did was just cut out all those snacks type thing in between. Because like I said, off season, I'd be more like a cow. I'd never sit down to a huge meal. I'll just have a small meal here, hour and a half later, sort of like grazing all day. I might just walk through the kitchen, pick up a banana, half hour later, if I'm in the kitchen again, grab a handful of cashew nuts, or then later on grab an ice cream, and then a bit later on a bit of steak and rice. So I was just constantly picking at food all day long, compared to when you diet, you're eating clean food, then you're eating every 2.5, 3 hours. It's more structured. Off season, I just never structured. I just ate when I feel like eating and ate what I felt like.
So you just made sure that you had your 200 grams of protein a day,
pretty much.
For example,
I didn't even count that half the time in the off season. I just ate
3 or 4 meals.
Yeah, but even sometimes in the off season, I might have, say I went to McDonald's for breakfast in the off season. You know, when you eat foods that are high in fat, your stomach's like, I could probably go 5 hours and wouldn't eat again. So sometimes in the off season, I might only have 2 meals, 3 meals the whole day, and then just little bits of food in between that. So I was never really regimented in the off season at all. I just ate when I was hungry or felt like eating.
Do you consider yourself extremely genetically gifted?
No, because people said that. I know I am, but yet other friends of mine did the same thing. They would bulk up, get heavy in the off season. People, what they say, like me, they look at my friends and go, "Oh, you're fat. You'll never get in shape." They'll diet down and win the contest. So I think people just get too paranoid half the time. Now, I said, with social media, nobody wants to get bulked up like I did because they want to do their videos all year round. So,
so
nobody wants to. No one wants to go on looking 50 pounds overweight like that. But it's good though, because like, remember the old Muscle Tech ads I was in? People are like, is that really you? Because you'd see me all bulked up. 12 weeks later, I'm shredded. They're like, that's not you. So those sort of things are actually good, because you're like, wow, you can make a difference. So, and you see the changes.
You could have sold a lot of products just from this before and after thing.
I could have brought out some little, this is what I use, this capsule, and you know. So
in reality,
it really just comes down to hard work.
Meals out of the regimen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard you were talking about the genetically gifted people that you give it a try, and it's not like I'm having a problem with that, but I feel it might sound a little discouraging to younger generations, some of them, like who tried a couple of years and they don't explode. And I saw you in some of the interviews like, okay, suck it up, this bodybuilding is not yours. So can you make it clear? Do you mean like bodybuilding is not for them at all, or can these people still train? And
I've always said keep training. I said, but some of them get into it where they'll train and that, but in their mind they go, I want to be a Mr. Olympia. It's like, and I always say, look, if you want to be a top professional, that takes the top genetics as well. And I said, and if you have that, just by training, eating and that, you know, you've seen those guys, they just pick up a weight, they eat, you're like, fuck, look at him growing, looks like he's on gear when he's not. I said, but if you don't have that, I said, after a couple of years, if you realise you don't have it, I said, don't give up training, because training's a good, healthy lifestyle. But you have to sort of then think of, okay, if I can't compete and do this, maybe I can do something else. Maybe you do know how to lose weight and bulk, so maybe you can help people doing that.
Maybe you just have to find,
have to find another avenue, because sadly I've seen so many people where their dream is, I want to be a pro bodybuilder.
And they're so far beyond that.
Yeah, but that's what they think about it. I've seen them like, they get offered a job. No, I can't take that job because I got to eat, sleep and train, and their life goes by them, and you know, 20 years later they're still they were, and they got nothing. So it's like you just got to, like I said, be real with yourself after a while, be honest. Say, okay, as I said, you might even be okay amateur, but then it's like some people might win an amateur show or place in a smaller local contest, but that might be as far as you can go. But hey, that's okay. Then you get the guys who might get to the national level, but they're never going to win the nationals. And if you can accept that, that's fine. But some people are like, okay, I got to the nationals and got 5th. If I take more gear, if I do this, next year I can win it, they'll be a pro. Next year they might get 5th again. Okay, I'll do this. So you've got to be real with yourself and have people around you who are honest with you and say, listen, because you know, as I said, because sometimes when people don't get there, they think, well, maybe it's the drugs, if I take more drugs. And I just don't want to see people doing damage to themselves, taking more gear and that, when, listen, if you can't get there, you're not going to get there. And generally, like I said, being in a gym, you just see those guys who walk in, like I said, they can just pick up a weight and you're like, is he on gear? Because like, you know, a year or 6 months later, like, fuck, he's growing fast. Because they've just got that genetic potential. And then, like I said, it's some people who don't have that, they think, well, if I take more gear, I can be like that. And that's why I said, don't be discouraged. I always say, keep training. I said, maybe just look for another avenue, even if you've got to get a job outside doing something else.
You can still stay within fitness industry, but maybe
but even if you can't be in the fitness industry, say you think, okay, then
become a fucking fitness influencer.
Yeah, but even then, if you can't do that, say, look, maybe
get educated.
Maybe get educated again, and maybe be an accountant. I said, but you can be an accountant, but you can be a good in shape accountant. So you can still do something else. But I just hate when people, like I said, they put all their eggs in that one basket. And if they can't achieve that, they just keep pushing and pushing. And like I said, I've seen people lose relationships because they're like, this is what I want to do. And I'm not, you know, they won't go anywhere. Because you know, some bodybuilders, it's like, hey, you want to go somewhere? No, I can't. I got to eat here. I got to eat that. So like the girlfriend might say, let's go to a movie. No, I can't go to a movie because I got to eat. So it's like, they just get so thing. It's like, you know, it's good to be dedicated and stuff, but you also got to have a life outside. You got to have that balance where you have some sort of normal life. You can go out with your friends. That's why when I was doing it, I'd do racing at other times, because if I just talked, I had friends when they'd come over, what they want to talk about was training and dieting and drugs. I'm like, you going to drive me fucking crazy. It's like, if that's all you think about, you're just going to burn yourself out mentally more than anything too. So you got to try and find something that, when you're in the gym, go 100%, give it 100%. But then when you're not in the gym, you don't have to sit at home and think about training and drugs. Go out and do something. Even if you just go walk your dog, walk the park, go to a movie, just find another something, not like a big strenuous sport, but even if you want to go down to the local club and play darts or something, just something different to give your mind a break of reps and sets and eating and stuff like that. So I think if you get that balance, then things will be a lot better, because I just see guys burn themselves out mentally because it's bodybuilding on nothing. So
especially when you are like a lead priest and you know just from the glance looking at the guy that he's not getting there. And I can imagine how you look at this guy and he's like going for his 6 meal, like, what the fuck are you doing this
like
for?
I said,
You're not going to get there,
I'd
right?
never tell them not to train, because like I said, even if you can't get there, still the training and eating and that lifestyle is still
But they don't
still
know any
healthy.
other way, right? They only go like, and I think it's partly coming from all these motivational, maybe videos, maybe books. It's all about like success, being successful. I gotta keep on punching, keep moving forward until the end.
And then you get the ones too where it's like, if you just take more drugs, you can get there. It's like, it doesn't work that way. It'd be like me, because remember when Ben Johnson got caught using Winstrol, and when he won the Olympics, I'm thinking, well, us bodybuilders take Winstrol. I said, we can't go to Olympic Games and win fucking gold medals and stuff. So you got to find what you're good at, and then if sometimes it might not be bodybuilding. Maybe you could be good at something. I knew a guy that was into bodybuilding once. He was really strong. He had good arms, but the rest of his body wasn't good. Then just for fun, he goes, I'm going to go try arm wrestling, and he became an arm wrestling champion. But if he had just stuck to bodybuilding, he would never have found out that he would have been good at this. So you got to just so. If bodybuilding's what you want, that's fine, but if you finally realise that's not it, just start looking somewhere else, and then before you know it, you might be like, you know what, I actually like this a lot, and you can do that, but you can still keep training as well. So you just got to, that's the thing, as I said, if you put all the eggs in one basket, so much things can pass you by that you could have been great at. Because like, if I just kept bodybuilding and I never tried racing, I would never won a championship racing, I would never have won circle tracks and all that sort of thing. I would have just been bodybuilder. So I had the racing as well. So.
What do you think about fake natties?
See, I don't even care. I don't care. It's like, I hate when I see videos, is this guy natty or fake? I'm like, who gives a fuck? How about you worry about yourself?
Yeah.
It's like even Michael Hearn. I've known Michael Hearn forever. You look at his younger pictures.
He's my friend. We trained together in Waltz.
He was big back then.
Yeah.
So like I said, there was never a picture where you see Mike a certain way and then 6 months later he's like this.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Mike, like you said, he's in the gym all the time, the dedication, he's eating all the time. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They go, well, I go to the gym and I do this, and it's like, I don't look like that. It's like, then so many videos are naked or natural or fake, and I'm thinking, who cares? Who cares if he's taking anything? How about you just go to the gym, worry about yourself? But he said he's natural. I said, so? I said, have you seen him put a needle in his arm? Until you walk in and see him giving himself a needle, you can speculate all you fucking want. It's easy to say, oh, he is, because I've seen so many guys who, I've got friends who have never taken a drug. They're not huge, but you know when someone gets really lean, they look a bit bigger because you can see the definition. Oh, he's got to be on drugs to look like that. I said, he's not. He hasn't taken anything. Oh, how can he look like that? He's in the gym 5, 6, 7 days a week. He's following his diet religiously. Where you're off going to nightclubs and you're doing a bit of this and doing that, he hasn't missed a day in fucking 10 years. So, yeah, the whole thing when they start doing that, I'm like, why do you even worry about that? Just focus on yourself. Who cares what somebody else is doing? And like I said, you see so many videos about it now. Natty off, I was like, who gives a shit?
And they still get most views. They
I
still
know.
get millions
I watch
of
that
views.
sometimes.
So many people talk about his like.
Well, I sometimes just look at stuff where I'll see someone on there, and they'll do a good video talking about training and eating and nutrition. Say they get 50,000 views. There'll be a video there, fake natty and Tren and that, 200,000.
1 million followers.
Yeah, you put like drugs in the title. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta let me watch that. It must be the secret. I'm like, fuck me dead, people. Come on, it's just.
I think last time when you went to Gold's and you filmed the video with Mike, it was called something like.
Yeah.
But he was kind of like asking you question whether you natty or not or something like that.
Yeah, and I was joking with him saying, told him to come on,
I think
Mike,
it's more
Tren.
than 1 million views now.
Yeah, is it? Yeah. Because people see the title, Lee, what does it say? Lee calls Mike O'Hearn out or something. Oh, what's going on? Look,
Like, finally, we'll get to know if Mike is natty or not.
I know, because people ask me, I say, look, he tells me he's natty. I've got no reason not to believe him. Because like I said, I've seen him over those years. He's always been consistent from when he was young right to now. People are like, oh, you're a fucking idiot if you believe him. I'm like, why can't you believe him? What? Just because? It's generally too because it's people who go to the gym, they train and that sort of thing, but then because they can't do it, well, if I can't do it, you can't do it. It's like when I tell people I take 400 milligrams a test, and I've done seminars, I say I take 400, I'm like, how much you on? 1,000. And they just look at me and go, you're 4 times bigger than me, I'm taking 1,000. You're going to be taking more to be like that. Like I said, they don't understand the genetics, what you got up here, the fucking, your mindset and stuff like that, your heart, how much fucking you're going to sacrifice and push. It's not just all about drugs. It's because how many, I said, being in the gym, how many people do you know who take steroids? When I worked out at Gold's and that, I knew so many people.
More than 50% is taken.
Well, I knew so many people that took drugs. If I said to you, he's taking drugs, you'd be like, does he even fucking train? It's like some people can take it and don't even look like they go to the gym. But in their mind, if they're taking that much and you look that big, well, you're going to be taking more than me then because I'm taking this. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. So that's why I said the internet can be a good thing, but then it can also be a shitty thing like that. So where people just throw shit out there. So I just like to go to the gym, and I've always said, if you have what it takes, it's going to happen. Like I said, if you have the genetics and you have that mindset where this is what you want to do, give it 100%. Go train, eat your meals, get your rest in, don't go out clubbing, don't do recreational drugs. And if it's meant to be, you'll be like, fuck, look at me, I'm growing, that sort of thing. So most guys I've seen who have gone on to be champions, like I said, they went as far as they could naturally and they look good without the drugs. And now you get somebody like that and you add a bit of drugs to them, it's like boom, they don't need a lot, you know. So it's just like that. But sadly, people these days, everyone, like when I started training, it was all about the training. I'd read, you know, Tom Platz's thing of what he trained, how he ate, stuff like that. But now it's like no one really says this. What do you take? What should I take? Like I said, I had that argument with that kid online the other day. Leah, I'm 18. What about taking Tren? And I said, you're 18. Your test levels should be here. I said, just eat and do this and do that. I said, why do you want to take it anyway? I've been training a year and I've hit a plateau. I said, you've been training a year and you've hit a plateau. But there's another story. I had a friend of mine in the gym. He was like 21, but yet he only trained probably 3 times a week. He ate like shit. He might have breakfast and then he'd eat it, maybe dinner, weekends, partying. And for like a month, I want to do Dianabol. Lee, can you get me some? I'm like, I'm not going to get you any. He kept nagging me. I said, okay, I'll get you some fucking Dianabol. But also here, I want you to follow this diet. I wrote him up a diet, 5 meals a day. I want you to train 6 days a week, and here's your Dianabol. He went away each week. He's putting weight on, his strength's going up. He's like, fuck, that Dianabol is good. And that. So after about a month and a half, we're at the gym. I said, you got the Dianabol? I said, yeah, I got to take it. And I said, okay. I said, chew it instead. He goes, that's fucking sweet. I just gave him sugar pills.
What?
Yeah, but
placebo pills.
Sugar pills. But in his mind, he thought he's taken Dianabol. I said, the only thing that's changed is now you're eating 5 meals and you're training more regularly. That's why you changed. He's like, you're a fucking ass. I said, but look at you. You've made improvements just by changing your diet and your training. You didn't need the drugs.
Your health is fine. You didn't fuck up your health.
Yeah, but in his mind, because that's why I tell most people, the ones that want to go on the drugs, I said, before you go on that, are you eating correctly? Are you training correctly? And half of them aren't. They're just doing it half-assed.
But how would they know if they do it correctly or not?
Well,
they don't have Lee Priest around
you know if you're eating 5 good meals a day.
That too.
Yeah, or if you're going to the gym 5 days a week, or if you're going out partying on the weekend, because they know if they're doing that or not. That's
but quality of the training, though. I see a lot of people coming to the gym every fucking day, staying there for 3 hours in Gold's Gym, and they don't train. I watch them do these 3 hours, but they barely do one working set.
Oh yeah, well, I said
they just like the lifestyle, or they. Yeah,
well,
they like to, especially
it's like a social place.
It's like a social thing. Yeah, they like to be part of the Gold's Gym community, so they come there for 30 years and they barely train. They never do a single working set during these 3 hours.
And that's fine if that's what they want to do. But if they want to be...
Okay, this is older generation, but younger guys too, how would they know what's real work? Because they don't have like Lee Priest around.
But you know, if you go in and say, okay, to do 6... Say you want to do 5 chest exercises. You know, if you're doing 5 hard working exercises, say dumbbell presses, flies and that. Like I said, if you do that hard, you'll know if you had a good workout or not. And then once you've done that, if then you want to float around the gym and chat and do whatever, that's fine. But don't do like one hard set of dumbbell presses, then you go walking from room to room. How you going? How's your weekend? And by the time you come back, it's been 20 minutes. I'll do another set. Like there are, like I said, the ones who can do that are the ones with the great genetics. They can take all that time and do it. But if you're finding it harder, just get in and do your workout, do whatever. And like I said, that's the only way you're going to find out is to go 100%. If you're going to go half-hearted, that's why I said too, it's like being that focused and like I said, not giving 100%. You say you give it 90%, that could just be the difference between being being good or being great. And that can come just from your mindset sometimes. You have that little bit of negativity, that little bit of doubt, then I said you might only be good. But if you get rid of that and think positive and say, look, I'm going to give it a shot, I'm going to give it a go and see how you go. And then I said, but if it doesn't happen, you can still go to the gym and have the lifestyle and do that sort of thing. So
obviously you had very strong, hard-working working ethic. And when you had an experience of working out with Tom Platz, we partly mentioned it today, did you feel like his intensity was something else comparing to your normal training? Because you're still professional, you're still trying to hit the ceiling. So did you feel like you working as hard as you worked out with him every workout, or was it something like special?
Well, with Tom, it's like, I think because too, it's like when you're with someone like Tom, it's probably like if you train by yourself or you train with Mike, when you're with certain people, it brings out more in you type thing, you know. So after looking up for Tom all my life and that to train with him for a year, it's like, yes, I could do legs hard, but now you got Tom standing over you saying, do another one, do it. He's got that voice yelling at you like, well, fuck, I'll do some more. It's like, in my mind, if he wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have done those last 5. And sometimes doing that bit extra can make a difference. So sometimes it's like I said, if you've got someone there to push it, because if you're by yourself, you know, your body's one of those things where if your body feels uncomfortable, experiences pain. Like if I'm by myself and I'm doing leg extensions and it's starting to hurt, my mind's saying, fucking stop, you know, stop. So you stop.
Why are you hurting yourself?
Yeah, so if Tom's there and I'm at the point where it's aching and Tom's like, give me 5 more. I'm like, fucking there's 5 more. Then he goes, give me another 5. I'm like, okay, I'll give you another 5. So you go beyond that threshold. So that's the sort of thing being with Tom can bring out you. But when like training with Tom, that's how he trained. Because like I said, if we're doing laterals, you do a set of laterals when they burn, you get to here, like that's enough. Tom would stand there, he'd do it to here, get to here, and then like he'd be standing there to the point where
barely move it. Okay.
And that would be his set. And I'm waiting, I'm like, fucking come on, Tom, what are you trying to take? But he'd go, like when you talk about failure, he would go to that muscle, couldn't fucking move. So, like I said, so just being around certain people like that, like I said, I'm sort of like I said, say you were squatting by yourself. Now you squat with Mike O'Hearn, if he's there pushing you, and he says, come on, do more and more. Or say you got 5 plates on, you're like, fuck, that's heavy. And Mike goes, put on another half. You're like, oh, okay. And then he yells at you, you do it, you're like, fuck, the 5.5 felt easier than the 5. So it all comes down, like I said, just that mindset, how you focus. Because there's days I've gone into the gym where if my mind's not in it, even warming up, I'm like, these warm-up weights feel fucking heavy. But if you're focused sometimes, you can do weights like, fuck, that's as light as anything. And it's not that you're any stronger or weaker, it's all up here. Like I said, you've been probably benching before. I've been benching before of a bar. And like you say, your arm's the bar, your spotter just goes, puts the hand there, you go, don't help me, I didn't. But your mind thinks, because you feel to see the hand there, oh, he's helping me. So you see, your mind's one of the most powerful tools you're ever going to have in bodybuilding or weight training in general. So it's pretty much like they say, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. So
all in all, had
pretty much.
Nerve, you had it damaged. Can you say a few words? Neck. And it somehow limitates the potential growth of the muscle tissue.
I crushed the C7, which controls part of the tricep, part of the chest, and the lat. So I just got a bit, I can still use it, but just atrophied a bit because the signal's not going to where it should be. It's slowly getting better, but it's a long process and stuff like that. So,
when did it happen? A couple of years ago?
2015, the car accident. And then that year I had 1 neck operation, and in 2020 had another neck operation through the front there type thing. So,
I think I've met you in 2017 at Cologne, Germany, at FIBO. And I think it was like, if you say it was 250, it means 2 years after that, and you had like pretty significant difference between your arms at that time. Now I just look at it; they're almost the same.
It's
like
this
proportion
because
is not
back then it's like that's where it was frustrating. Because now I can do exercise, but back then, say I put 5 pound, like you're doing this exercise, I put 5 pound there, I'd be like, my mind's thinking move, but because the signal's not going to the muscle, it's like you know, it's almost like. I've never had a stroke, but you know when someone has a stroke and they lose the use of their arm? It's like the muscle just wasn't firing, so I'd be like so frustrated. Or if I did dumbbell press, I could have 140 pounds here, and only 30 pound here. That's what I'd have to do.
Oh my God.
If I put any more, it just wouldn't move. And it's so frustrating because my mind's thinking move, but the muscle's not getting the signal to move. So it's like, that's probably the most toughest time because your mind's got...
How did you get through it?
I just kept persevering. Yeah, because once I accepted what it was, I think, okay, it's going to take time. I just kept going. I said,
is it going to come back like 100%?
Well, they said it will, probably not 100%, but it will slowly come back. And maybe some cell said I'll get stem cell and stuff like that can help it out. And
you never
things.
tried it yet?
No.
Have you spoken to Ronnie about it?
No, I was talking to, I spoke to Flex Lewis about the one he went to and that. And then I think Fuad, who does his podcast, he said he had a guy that did stuff too and it worked well. So I'm still looking into it type thing. But at the moment, I just like, I can still get, I'm starting to get a pump again now.
It's getting better for sure.
Yeah,
much better, much
starting
bigger
to
now.
feel good now. But like I said, for a while there, in the beginning, I was at the point where, well, why even bother fucking training? But like, you know what, I can still do stuff. So
it can be
even though it's not
when
what I
you're
used to do, at least I'm still doing something. So even though I was going light, this is where it comes back to the mind. I just kept visualizing, okay, just visualize the nerve getting better, just visualize it starting to connect again. So I just kept thinking that way. And it's still sometimes today now, I might go do stuff and I start and I'm like, oh, back I used to be able to do this. I think, no, don't think about that, just think about what you can do now. Yeah, so I'm slowly getting around it. But yeah, when it first happened, I was like, oh, fucking hell, I'm going to quit. I'm just going to go do something else.
It's incredible that medicine technology is still not there to fix this kind of problems.
No, well, if it is, it's like, sometimes different governments won't let you have it, or, even in Australia, we can't do stem cell in Australia. It's like that sort of thing. So I think
it's not legal in the United States neither, right?
No,
people go to Mexico.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like, but then I get into conspiracy theories where they don't want us to be healthy because I said, if everyone's healthy.
Oh, there is a cure for cancer too, you think?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I've always thought that. But, look at the money they make from all the drugs and chemotherapy and stuff. Because if everyone was healthy...
Problems, how much money they raise.
Well, when I was even younger, you go to a doctor and the doctor would actually try and help you. But now you go to a doctor, it's almost like they give you medication, but it just sort of treats what you have. It doesn't improve what you have. It might just... Okay, it might just mask what you got. And then you take this drug.
Mask symptoms, and that's it, right?
And now this drug you're taking slowly down the track causes something else. Oh, now you got to take this drug.
That, and then
it's like young kids now.
Like a whole bunch of different...
How many young kids did we ever hear back in the day that had ADHD and all this sort of shit? So now you got these young kids who are just full of energy. Oh, they need these pills. It's like now you got a customer for life. This young kid's on them for the rest of his life. So when you look at the pharmaceutical industry, they're trillions and trillions of dollars, so they're not going to give up anything like that sort of thing. So, which is sad because sadly they put money over people's health and stuff. So it's like in Australia, we know smoking's bad, we know it can cause cancer, and the government will put an ad on TV where the father's sitting inside on a breathing machine watching his kids play outside, and it says do not smoke, causes cancer, and his father can't play with his kids anymore because he's dying, paid for by the government. But I'm like, yeah, but you sell cigarettes because you're making all the tax dollars.
You make it legal to sell it.
Yeah, it's like...
You make it illegal to sell
you're like being
steroids,
a hypocrite.
But you make it...
It's like alcohol does this and that. It's like, yeah, but you sell alcohol. It's like, that you can make alcohol without the alcohol content. Somebody wants a beer or something, you can take the alcohol out of it. But people want to get drunk and they want to get that buzz. So I'm sure somewhere they could probably make a cigarette like without the nicotine, without the cancer-causing shit in it, but they don't. It all comes down to the dollars.
Keep people addicted. They want people to stay addicted.
Exactly. But that's like I said, when it comes down to different foods and the sugars, they say sugar gets addictive. People get that sugar rush and they need sugar all the time once your body feels like craving sugar. So, it's...
Okay, what else conspiracy theories do you like?
Well, there's so many, isn't there? But when it comes to governments, fuck, you never stop if you go to governments because... you just got to look around at what the governments do to the people, and I just wish, my dream...
Do you hate the Australian government?
Yeah, because I said they just screw everyone over like everybody else. To me, it's like, what I hate right now is I see it in America, I see it in Australia, the division, whether it's between race or whatever. Here sometimes it's between, like years ago, you could have someone, a Democrat and a Republican, but you're still friends.
Yeah.
Now if you say, I vote for Trump, and, oh, you fucking this, they hate you. And like, there's so much division going on now that we're all fighting amongst ourselves. The government's fucking you in the ass because you're not paying attention to what they're doing. And the thing is, governments know if everybody united, that would be their biggest fear. If everyone got together, regardless of race, religion, who you voted for. Because remember in the old days, say you go back to the early days in France or England, Remember, like the king and queen would be living large, all the food, the people in the town are starving.
Yeah.
They'd get together and go, you know what, we're going to storm the castle. They'd storm the castle and kill the king and queen because the people just had enough. And sadly now it's like, yes, people complain and we say we had enough, but we're still a little bit comfortable. We're still...
So they're keeping you on that edge, give you right enough amount.
Yeah, exactly. But you get to the point where people have nothing to lose, and when you got nothing to lose, that's when people are going to be dangerous. And I've always said, like when I stood up to the IFBB, one person, I said, you can have a piece of string. You can get that piece of string and go snap and just break it. But if you get all the people, and just imagine everyone's a piece of string, and you wove them all together, you got this piece of rope that's indestructible. Yeah. So if everyone just joined together and said, you know what, we're all the same, whether you're black, white, whatever. We all want what's best. We all want what's best for our family. We all want a good life. We all want food on the table, a roof over our head. Let's just all join together and go for this common cause. Then the government will be like, oh, fuck no. They've seen, you know, they've all joined against us. But they don't want that, as I said, because everyone's just fighting over stupid shit these days. It's crazy.
How did your conflict happen with the IFBB? Did you see it coming when the first things happened?
No, mine was just because I've always been like, tell the truth. So I tell the truth if I've seen something going on. And then I just got annoyed seeing, like, I trained hard and I'd see other guys train hard, especially when it come to the Mr. Olympia, where you'd have like the top 15, 16 guys. And I'm like, okay, the top 10 get money, but these other 6 guys, you say it's the Super Bowl of bodybuilding. How can you have 16 of the best in the world, and if you're not the top 10, you don't get $1? It actually cost you money to go compete. I said, that's not right. I said, the guy that comes 16th trained just as hard, just because he wasn't what the judges wanted on the day, he should still get money. That's why I stood up there that time, gave Wayne that letter at the press conference and stuff like that. And from that day, even if you weren't in the top 10, you got $2,000. That's not much, but at least it's something, you know. It's rather than just a, thanks for coming. As I said, you're saying, like I said, what other sport would you bust your ass like that? You got to pay your hotel, pay your airline ticket, get on the Mr. Olympia stage, and it actually cost you money to go there. So whenever I just seen injustice like that, and people said to me, Lee, shut your mouth, you're going to get. I said, look, I could have shut my mouth. Yeah, I had won pro shows, I had great contracts. Probably in my heyday, I was making $18,000 a month just from contracts. So I could have just shut up and said nothing. But I'm like, but I'm not about that. If the guys at the top who are making the money don't stand up for the other guys, nothing's ever going to change. Everyone needs to be, you know, stand together and help out, because then the sport will grow. And that's
Have you tried to pull someone in your team, like to stand next to you?
Yeah, and they never would. But the thing was, I'd do those articles, and I'd be at Expo, and like everyone, the pro bodybuilders, hey Lee, we agree with what you're saying.
But we won't go with you.
Yeah, public, I said, well, why don't you? Oh no, we're getting in trouble. I said, how? I said to him, we have that athletes meeting 2 days before the Olympia. And I said, look, we know the promoters have to make money. We know that this and that. I said, but we're not asking for anything crazy. I said, look, if we all stand together and say, listen, the Mr. Olympia is sold out, tickets are sold, people have come from all over the world. Let's just say we want this, this and this. If we don't get it, we're not walking on stage on Saturday. What could they do? They're not going to cancel the show. The athletes have the power if they all united together, but they wouldn't. They'd be like, some of them even said, oh, Lee got suspended, good. I can move up a spot now.
Oh my God.
So rather than just, like I said, I heard a lot of them say it, so we just need to just stand together.
You have a lot of haters, probably one of them.
Yeah, so I was like, whatever. But like I said, I'm an open book. I've always just been open. I always said what's on my mind. And that's why
Do you hate someone back in return?
No, not really.
No?
No, because like, to me it's like, half the people that hated me don't even really know me. It's like if you met me and you knew...
I'm talking about like Sean Ray kind of people.
Well, Sean I just laugh at, because I think...
Really?
Sean said...
I thought that you had it serious. Like,
no, he just started out of the blue, because to me it's like, I had nothing against Sean, but somebody would say, Lee, do you see what Sean said about you? I'm like, no.
Show me.
And they'd send it to me, I'd read it, and I'm like, okay, I'll ever go back at him. But I just do it for fun. Yeah. Then he'd never go back, and I'm just like, once it got started, but I don't have no ill towards him or anything like that. To me it was just like entertainment and stuff, but like I think, well, you know, I guess he keeps his name out there and stuff like that. Well, when I was at the Olympia last year, he came over, hey Lee, how you going? I was with S-Force there and stuff. He's like, good, and he goes, oh, can you get me a watch? I said, oh yes. I went over to the owner, I got Sean Ray a watch and that, he was all happy and he walked off.
Really?
So yeah, I don't have nothing against him, so.
Cool, so it's very nice to know that.
Yeah, like, so for me to hate someone, you'd really have to, like I said,
know the truth?
Kill a family member or something, but you know.
Today, there were like people whispering to each other's ears. A lot of people were afraid that some confrontation could have happened during today's seminar because of the social media confrontation that you previously had with Branch Warren.
Oh, okay.
So you guys had a little bit of beef, and it turned out that it went absolutely okay. You guys all showed class.
I didn't even know what that was, because I joke around, and I've even thought to myself, I wonder what I said, because I just say stuff being funny half the time. And like I said, if people don't really know me, they'll be like, oh, why did Lee attack me like that? But I just say things out of the blue in a joke. And then sometimes the person might not have even heard what I said, but you know what it's like. Somebody will tell somebody else, Lee said this, and then it gets to them. And by the time they hear it, they're like, he said that. I'm like, that's not what I said at all. It's like that Chinese whispers. It just grows and grows and grows. Yeah, so I'm thinking, because someone told me, I said, Branch is happy. If I said, well, I remember I did, I think I was happy with much because I did a thing I was talking about his training style. I said, look.
You were being sarcastic about his form being.
And I said, look, that works for Branch. You have to understand, that works for Branch. Like Ronnie too. I said, if you're a beginner, use good form. I said, once you get the Branch's size and you're advanced in training, you can probably train like that. Yeah. And then I just did a funny video going, no, fucking nuts. Mimicking his thing, and it's like, I was just in fun. It wasn't like I said, I respect Branch because he's a great bodybuilder. He's won the Arnold Classic, ran up at the Olympia, so I just had fun doing that. But it was never something saying I don't like Branch or anything like that. I was just saying, look, that works for Branch, but if you're a beginner, because you know, some bodybuilders, when they start training, I love Branch Warren, this is how he trains. Now, if you're a beginner, you don't want to train that way. You want to use good form, and like I said, once you build muscle and do whatever, then you can go do that type of thing. So it's just that sort of thing. But I think, you know, Branch might have taken it the wrong way and go, why is Lee ripping me off and doing stuff like that? So, you know, so.
Yesterday I spoke with him and I was asking about his training style, if it was like that from the very beginning or it evolved throughout his career. And apparently it evolved. From the beginning, he was not like that.
Yeah, and that's what I said too. I said in the beginning, Branch was probably, and I'm sure I've seen earlier pictures of Ronnie. Ronnie was more strict.
Yeah.
And then sometimes too, like I said, sometimes people too like Branch, because it's just being videoed, a lot of people do it for the video. They'll get the weights and they'll start yelling, be like, come on motherfucker, but they're not doing that every day in the gym. But yet, sadly, like I said, young kids are impressionable. Oh, that's how he does it. I got to do it like that. And if you're a young beginner and you're still young and growing, I don't want to see you throwing the weights around like that and get injured, because then, you know, if you tear something, you could do something, your career's over. So, yeah, so it was never, like I said, nothing malice towards him. I was just having fun doing that. And actually, when I was doing it, pretending to be Branch, I almost hurt myself doing it. Because I've always trained so strict that when I tried to fuck around, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to hurt myself being funny. So, yeah.
Younger guys being inspired by you guys, and now there is like 2 boys, twins.
Oh, the Tren twins.
Twins.
Yeah, they actually contacted me a bit, because they're like, oh, Lee, you're the greatest, this and that. So they're fans of mine. When I first heard the name, I'm like, why you got to call yourself Tren Twins for? I was like, what a name. So yeah, but they just messaged me last week. And they said, is this your arm workout? I said, yeah. They go, okay, we're going to do it. Next video, we're going to do your arm workout. I said, okay, give it a go and stuff like that. So, yeah, like I said, again, I don't agree with some of the shit they do. I'd see them once snorting fucking pre-workout and that. So it's like, but yeah, like I said, the same with Ziz and those. If they can get people into training, if that gets people into the gym and a lifestyle, more power to it, as long as they don't go too crazy. And, you know, as long as like, what's his name? Nick lately's been going on about Sam. That's Sam Sulek. You know, the young
Sam Sulek, Nick, yeah.
And like Nick Trigilli, and Nick's just ragging on him. I said, Nick, shut up. I said, Sam's not on there saying, young kids, go and eat this. Like, Sam filmed a day and he's eating, and during the day he had cereal and had this, and Nick's like, you shouldn't be eating cereal, this is bad for you. I'm like, he's 21 years old. It's like, you know, he's just showing you a day in his life. He's not saying, if you want to get big like me, you must eat this. And I said, Nick, it's like when we're growing up. How many times did your parents say, don't speed in a car, don't do this? I said, we all fucking did it. We don't listen. It's like, sadly, most of us, we learned the hard way, and they'll be like, I told you so. But yeah, so it's just like, just let him be. But Nick's just making video after video after video. That's why I said, Nick, there's lots of videos of you online there that you wouldn't want people seeing. So I said, people, go Google Nick Trigilli, XXX. There's videos of him getting blowjobs off guys, having sex with guys. I said, Nick, I said, Sam's putting McDonald's in his mouth. I'd rather see a kid put that in his mouth than the other meat product you're eating. So it's like, as I said, lay up on him. It's just a young kid having fun. He'll learn. He's not going to eat like that his whole life. When I was 21, 20, like that video I put up on Instagram not long ago when I was 22 years old and I'm shredded. At 22, I was still eating half and half milk and this and that, but as I got a bit older, I can't do that anymore, so your diet changes. It's like, he's just going to learn. But like I said, Sam's not out there saying, you must do it this way. And then you got Nick too, who, he does programs for people. He gives people cycles of PEDs, you know, steroids. And I said, so you can't come down on him when you're writing programs and giving people steroids and shit. It's like, just let the kid be. He's got like, what, 2 million followers on YouTube and stuff like that.
Extremely popular, yeah. I was trying to figure out why is he that popular.
Yeah.
The guy is just being transparent, I guess.
Yeah,
I can't see any other explanation.
No, yeah.
If he eats these noodles and he fucking shows these noodles and he's not trying to create an image of some perfect ass.
And like I said, that for now is working for him. I said, if he's eating that and he goes to the doctor to get his blood checked and his blood check's fine right now, that's fine. But, you know, later on, the doctor might say, hey, this is creeping up. You maybe better clean up your diet a bit. I'm sure he will. Now people are commenting on, well, he must be on a lot of drugs. I said, you don't know what he's taking. Stop speculating. So, yeah, it's just crazy.
It's just in us. We want to talk shit about people behind their backs.
And I think because he's got so many followers, Nick will talk about him, then everyone's going to go watch Nick's video.
Oh, everybody's clickbaiting on big names.
Exactly.
Whoever's hyping right now, they just clickbaiting on those things.
Exactly.
Like,
So,
everybody's using your name back in the day, Rich Piana's name. Like Lee Priest, like said so, and Rich Piana said Sinto.
I sometimes see stuff like that, like Lee says, like, let me go have a look. What
did I say now?
I said, you'd be surprised the stuff I learn about myself online. And I used to read some of the stuff, I'm thinking, if only these people knew. I go to the gym, I come home, I said, I got a real boring life. I don't go out partying. I just stay home half the time, watch TV, walk the dogs. I go online and go, is there another Lee Priest? I said, this guy's a bit of a wild guy. But yet people read that,
like
people
fun.
believe it. Yeah, like, wow, that's what he does. I'm like, if you meet me in person, I'm very quiet. I'm actually a shy person. I could be somewhere if someone goes, hi Lee, I'm like, hi.
It's very hard to believe, yeah.
I am though, but people
because
are like...
you're different when the camera is rolling.
Yeah, I just come out. Like I said, it's like Howard Stern or people like that. Sometimes when they're on camera or doing something, there's this like personality of if they're an actor or something, but then in their own life, they're totally different. So when I'm around my friends, then I'm just normal, quiet. But if I didn't know you and I'm at an expo, you go, hi, let's say, hi, how are you? I've had people say, I saw Lee, he was really rude, he didn't talk to me. But if I don't know someone, I'll say hello and be nice. But then if you don't talk to me, I just shut up. But if you start talking to me, I'll keep talking. Yeah. So people are like, you know, because they see me like always talking, when they say hello to me, I say hi, then I just...
And you just wait for him to go with the question.
Yeah. They think I'm ignoring him, but I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what to say next. So, because I'm just a shy person. But once you engage me, then I'll keep talking to you.
Yeah, like you're doing right now. Yeah. I appreciate it a lot. Talking about these times, about 10 years ago, Rich Piana was still alive. And on social media, you guys were my two biggest inspirations. I followed your videos. I followed Rich's videos. Maybe it's just me, but I was a fan of two of you guys. Did you feel like anything in common with Rich Piana?
Well, truthfully, I never met Rich.
You never met him?
Never met him. And I see some of his stuff, but I never followed him, so I'd only really see if I was on a podcast and someone said, oh, Rich this, Rich that, but I never really followed what he did. I never watched any of his training videos. I think I saw one video he did once where I think it was at his house, and he's just sitting out the front on the steps talking or something, but I wouldn't, if you asked me any questions about him, I wouldn't even really know anything really about his training style or anything, or what he ate, or no. But I saw his like photos and stuff would pop up, but that sort of thing. But it's like people like, oh, he's got this in his arms, that. I'm like, I don't know, does he? I don't. You know, people always speculate he put this in himself, and then I'm like, I don't know. I never looked into it that hard to really think about it. But like I said, he had a good following. People liked him, so again, he was inspiring people to get into the gym and get into the stuff. So I'm like, you know, I said I never even thought about to this day, because someone said today, I was talking about him out there, and they're like, didn't he put this in his arms, that in his arms?
Who did? Like, someone was talking about Rich?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, well, I don't know. I was like, I wouldn't know what he is. People were like Sinfod, then it's like someone else, Silicon. Then I was like, yes, I'm thinking, who the fuck knows? It's like, unless I'm there seeing him do it, who knows?
Yeah. But still, even if he did, people just being judgmental. Yeah, but it's like, what does it have to do with his charisma, with his work ethic?
Even with me, with my tattoos even. Why you got tattoos there? Why'd you tattoo your face? I'm like, because it's my face. To me, it's just another body part. I don't give a shit. I'm like, why does me tattooing my face bother you so much? I'm like, what, next time I get a tattoo, should I call you up and get your permission?
Yeah,
it's just like,
your authorization,
I'm sure, okay, you might not have tattoos, but I'm sure if I went for your lifestyle, you're not squeaky clean. There's probably shit you do. I'd probably go, But that's pretty fucking weird. But me, I'm an open book. I've talked about my sex life and shit I've done and blah, blah, blah. People know all about me. So you can judge me all you want. But I said, I'm not hiding anything. There's nothing I'm going to be like, oh, I regretted doing that or doing this. I am who I am. And that's why I said, when people have never met me and they hate me, that sort of annoys me, because I'm like, I'd rather you get to know me, and then if you don't like me then you can say, well, I didn't like him because of this or that, then that's understandable.
It's hard to get to know you in person, because you're kind of celebrity.
Yeah, I'm not a celebrity. That's why I hate that too, because to me, when people come and go, oh, you're Lee Priest, you're Lee Priest, I get embarrassed, because to me, I'm just Lee. Look, I'm no better than you. Okay, we both go to the gym, we love training. I got a pro card and competed in whatever. That doesn't make me better than anybody else. I was just lucky enough to have the genetics to get a pro card, but I'm on the same level as anybody else in the gym. It's like, to this day, I'm 51, and I've never gone up to someone in the gym and said, how many sets you got? Because to me, if they're doing an exercise, I'll go do something else. But people are like, you're getting ready for Olympia. I said, okay, I'm getting ready for Olympia. That woman wants to lose 30 pounds. Why is me getting ready for Olympia more important than her losing 30 pounds? We just got different, different goals. So by me getting ready for Olympia, I should tell her, get off that machine. Why? She wants to lose 30 pounds. She's got every right to that machine more than me. So I've never put myself, to me, I've always just found everyone's equal. It's like, you might be in the gym training and I'm a professional bodybuilder. You might be a plumber. Okay, I'm a great bodybuilder. You might be a great plumber. I'm no better than you then. We're just two guys in the gym. We've got different careers, different jobs. So I just don't like when movie stars or athletes get this.
I think this is what makes you special. Yeah. This is why so many people around the world like you, because they feel you that way. That
yeah, because
you're like very normal.
Yeah, I just don't see. I just hate when people say, "Do you know who I am?" I'm this. I say, so what? Big fucking deal. Even if you're a movie star, oh, you go on TV, you act, you get paid lots of money. How does that make you better than the guy who drives the truck around and empties garbage bins?
He's got the same skin, the same blood underneath his skin, right?
Like I said, that's your job. You're a movie actor, you get paid lots of money. His job, he empties garbage bins. You're both human. You got different career paths. So why does one make anyone better than the other? I just don't get it like that, where people go, I was like, fuck off. It's like,
followers from my channel, they were asking me a question like, Alex, how do you like not getting nervous when you're taking interviews from such as big names in the industry, stuff like that? And I always been like that, close to what your opinion too. Like when I work out at Gold's Gym Venice, and I like Arnold's training right next to me, and this is just a normal thing for me, because I train there every morning and he trains there every morning. And I'm not freaking out, and I know that he's a legend of legends and stuff like that. But at the same time,
he's just another guy.
He's just another human being with 4 limbs, legs, skin. So I see him, when you touch the person, when you see him right there, you realize that he's the same freaking human being. Why would I freak out?
Well, we'd always joke around at World Gym, because he'd be training there, Eddie Giuliani, and I'd be training there. He'd look at me, he's like, Lee, do you think you're doing too much there? I'd look at him and go, I think you're right, Arnold. I said, look at me, I'm almost killing myself. And in the end, when I get old, I'm only going to look shit like you anyway. You'd be like, oh, very funny. So we'd always just joke around and stuff like that. And it was always good to joke with. So yeah, that's why to this day, when people want my photo or say, oh my God, you're Lee Priest, I'm like, yeah, I'm just Lee. I'm no one special. Oh no, you're this. No, like I said, look, I appreciate if I've inspired somebody to get into the gym, or there's been a few people out there, because like I've talked about things when I was younger, I tried to commit suicide, and so have other people. So I can relate to different people on what it feels like to be down there in that hole where I just want to give up and kill myself and stuff like that. I always talk to different people. So like I said, I don't, like I said, think I'm better than anybody else. I said, we're all human. We all want to be the best we can. I said, we all just want to live our best lives. And if we've got families, you just want to put food on the table for your family and stuff. But me being Lee Priest doesn't mean shit. You know, to me, it's just, I'm Lee, you're John, you're Jack. We love going to the gym.
You're just not afraid of showing yourself the way you are. Yeah, and most of the people that are trying to hide, trying to create this better image.
And that's what I hate too. I don't know what that's like. And I think to myself, it must be shit to sometimes feel that way, where there's people like, let's just say you come into the gym, there's a group of people over there. Okay, you go over to that group, now I've got to act a certain way. I've got to be someone I'm not, just so these people like me. Okay, now I'll leave that group and I go over here. Oh fuck, if I act that way, they won't like me, so I've got to act that way. And I'm the type of person too where you and I could be best friends. I could walk out there and someone goes, oh, that guy, he's a fucking dick, and I'll be like, he's okay to me, he's my friend. But there's people like, if you're my friend and I walk out there, he's a dick, and I don't like him either. I just had to fucking, it's like, I don't like that. It's like, I am who I am, and I like who I am. I don't try and act a certain way to fit in. That's why I'm like, I'm just going to be myself. And if you don't like me the way I am, that's fine. That's okay if you don't like me the way I am. But I'm not going to change who I am just to fit in with a certain group or to get something. Like I said, I could have bit my tongue in the IFBB and done better, but that's not who I am. So I don't want to be fake just to get something or be something or have somebody like me. It's like, this is who I am. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, that's fine.
You know, people like creating fake images of themselves is becoming worse and worse with social media right now. So your quality is becoming more and more unique. You're standing out more and more.
And I feel sorry for people. I feel sorry for people like that too, where it must be hard, like I said, to be like I said,
24/7 wearing a mask.
And like they got to go in there and smile and be like this and do this and do that. But then behind closed doors, I'm thinking, are they really sad or are they this
miserable,
or that?
miserable
so
people, depressed.
And I think that must be a sad way to live. I'm like, just be yourself. And I said, if you just be yourself, be genuine, the people who are meant to be around you and like you, they're the ones who are going to be around you. They're your true friends. The ones where you got to act a certain way for them to like you, they're
not
fake.
You, but they're like the person they're trying to
They're the first ones that will stab you in the back when you turn around. So I was like, just be yourself and be happy. I said, because if you are that way, the people who are meant to be your friends and meant to be, they'll gravitate towards you. And once you get those true friends, just stick with them. If you don't fit in over there, that's fine. You don't need to fit in over there because, like I said, some people will act a certain way or they'll tell lies and that just to fit into that group. And like I said, I've always been honest because if you lie, you're going to get caught out sooner or later. So it's just like, just be yourself. And if someone asks you a question, be honest. If they don't like the answer, too bad. So, you know, as long as even if you answer, like when people ask me questions sometimes, I'll answer, but I won't do it in a way to be malicious or be whatever. It's like, if you ask me that question, do you want my honest opinion? Okay, here it is. Now, you can't get mad at me. You asked me the question. I'm not going to answer just so I don't upset you, so...
Be ready to hear my answer if you ask me this question, right?
But then go, well, I didn't like that answer. Fuck you, I don't like you anymore. It's like, well, you asked me, so... so if you're going to judge me on that, fucking hell, so...
So I think it's a great message to finish this interview. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Stay yourself. Stick to the true you, right?
Exactly. Just be yourself. And like I said, the ones who love you and accept you for that, they're the true people to be around. So, and like I said, they always say you can only count your friends on a handful, and that's pretty true sometimes. You know, you can say, "Oh, I've got this 50 friends," yeah, but how many of them are your real friends? So, you know,
how many you have? Real friends.
Real
like
friends.
2, 3. Maybe?
Probably 5 at most. I have acquaintances, but actually true friends who you know that if you're down and you're out, someone's going to come and help you out and pick you up and that. Because I said you can have friends and that, but when the shit hits the fan, they're not around. So a lot of them too are only when you're here, they're around, and you see it all the time. When you're up the top, you got all of them. If something happens, you hit rock bottom.
When was the last time when you were on the rock bottom? Quite a long time ago.
I've never really been down.
How would you know that?
Yeah, well, I've been like, even when I lost all my contracts, like I said, when I went from 18,000 a month and then I got suspended and companies were told to dump me, I went from 18,000 down to roughly 4,000 a month. And people are like, oh my God, Lee, that's a big thing. I said, yeah, okay, I got 4,000 a month. I was still living in Venice. I said, look, even with 4,000 a month, I can pay my rent, I can still go and train, I got food on the table. So I'm in a better position than most people still. Yes, because I've never been money orientated. You know, Ed Connors used to be like, Lee, you could be making so much more money. I said, yeah, Ed, I could, but you know what? If I travel every weekend, that stresses me out. I wouldn't be happy. Yes, I'd have lots of money, but it's like...
Money's supposed to help you be happier.
Yeah, no, but it's like, I'd rather the quality of life, you know? It's like, if I'm traveling every weekend and I'm not home, I'm doing this, yeah, I got money, but I wouldn't be happy. I'd be like, oh, fuck, I got to go travel again. I'd rather have less money, but like I said, still have food on the table, a roof over my head, and just be happy within myself and that. Because I said, you can have all the money in the world and still be miserable. Because I said, I know people that are millionaires. They've got beautiful homes and cars. They're never home to enjoy it. They've got families. They're never home. They're working. Even when they come home with their phone, they're still working. It's like, you know, you need to chill out a bit and just relax and enjoy life. Because like I said, I'm 51 now. In my mind, 20 feels like a couple of years ago, because like I said, it just goes in a blink of an eye. And you know, people always say we should do this, should do this.
How long you want to live?
I always say 100. My wife's like, yeah, get to 100. I said, I just want to live to 100. I said, I just want to live long enough where the people on the internet go, that fucker's still alive. Fucking hell. But to me, it's always like, people are like, just go out, go do whatever. You only live once. And I hate that saying where people go, you only live once. I said, no, I said, you only die once. I said, you live every fucking day, so make every day count. Because every day you live, I said, you die once, you live every day. So
Yeah, true.
That's what I tell people.
All right, Lee. I hate taking more time of you. I really
That's okay.
appreciate your
Thank
time.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.